What is good, everybody? I'm here with one of my current consulting clients, Vander. Vander, we've been working together for how long? How long has it been? 2 months?
Yeah, like month and a half, 2 months.
Month and a half, 2 months. It's a little early for a case study interview, but Vander's been seeing some crazy results with one of his clients, so we wanted to get on and have a little discussion here. So yeah, Vander, start by just introducing yourself, what you do, what you would call yourself, and kind of like the state you were in when we just started working together.
Yeah, for sure. So I've been in the info space for like 10 months now. I started in January. And I have a very similar agency to like Jason. And we've worked with some small clients over the past few months, but we finally got a big one probably like 2 months ago. So we were trying out different things, just trying to get them to six figures a month. And we ran a Webby a few weeks ago, or this week actually, and it popped off. So we do full stack, marketing, sales, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I want to rewind a little bit though, because it was actually interesting. Yes, this Webby did kind of do well. It popped off. We'll talk. We'll get into that. But the first thing we had you do when you came to us was what? Talk to them about how kind of the systems we gave you and just the overall call funnel process we gave you and how that helped things initially.
Oh yeah, for sure. So Jason showed me um like the actual CRM and sales system you guys use.
Mhm.
And previously, it was kind of just whatever. It was very like unclear of what our SOPs were and what sales guys had to do each day, and we were just kind of hoping for stuff to fall, you know what I mean? So I implemented like the same CRM and stuff you guys use, same processes, and instantly, I mean, we doubled revenue the next month right after we did that. Um, and yeah, same thing with the like the emails we were sending out, replicated what you guys were sending out, all that kind of stuff.
What were like the main holes or like leaks that you had to patch like when we kind of first started working together?
Yeah, so our show rate was literally it was sub 30. I think we were at 26 for 1 week. And then actually the main thing that really helped out our show rate was the pre-call video. Like before it was just like confirmation page, kind of half-assed. We implemented the pre-call video and then instantly we were like between 70 and 50% consistently week after week.
Yeah. Also, too, with the things you implement, I want to touch on, like dive a little deeper. Like the pre-call video, how easy or hard was it to implement that? Like, did that not just consist of me literally giving you an SOP with an exact script I've written that you could pretty much like copy
Yeah.
and paste and implement?
Literally, that's literally what I did is you showed me one that you have with one of your previous clients, and I pulled the transcript from it, edited a little bit for my client, went to their house, made them say it word for word, and then I mean implementing it was easy. It's literally just sending the link right after someone books a call. Um, and yeah, literally that tripled our show rate, just that SOP that you gave me for the pre-call video.
Other than just like strictly the show rate for the pre-call video, what did you notice as far as like how people responded to the calls after watching the pre-call video? Were they framed differently? Were they showing up greener? Like what happened?
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention as well. We didn't even have a VSL when we started working together. I had to work that out with the client as well. So not only the VSL and pre-call video, but anyways, yeah, they're much more educated on like what the call was actually going to be about. Obviously their FAQs were answered in the pre-call video as well. So I mean, close rate went up as well, and then our average order value was way higher as well because we were attracting the right people were showing up to the calls, especially from the VSL, but the pre-call video as well.
Right. And then one thing I remember doing as well, before we dive into the Webby stuff, is yeah, we kind of like got you just running the same system we run, because you kind of had things a little bit all over the place.
Hmm.
But one thing we did do as well, and Jake helped out a lot with, was we actually reviewed your closing calls. Which I remember
Yeah.
we found a ton of holes just in the actual script and the process that the closers were using. So and then obviously too recently we've stressed the importance of having a good sales manager, what that looks like, etc. So touch on the sales side of things, the closing script, the sales managing, and just like how we've sort of been able to help you with that.
Yeah, for sure. So first off was the actually reviewing the sales calls, getting really in the weeds. We had this problem where we had like every call was ending up being a payment dip. Like they'd go through the whole process. They'd say, "Yeah, I'm ready to go." Honestly, no, have no objections, and they would just leave during payment. And I mean, that's a pretty specific problem that you can hammer down on once you realize that that's the actual problem. So we went and reviewed the calls and just realized that like the closers are just rushing the end of the call way too much, which I would have had no idea to look for unless it was for us reviewing that call that day. Um, so that helped a ton. We definitely like implemented like a new script at the end, making sure that they were hitting on the right points at the end of the call, making sure people were 100% ready to go before actually asking for the payment. And we don't have payment dips anymore at all, honestly. We have like one here and there, but not every call like it used to be.
Yeah.
And then
Other
as
than
far as what's up?
oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
And then I was just gonna say, as far as the sales manager, um, I had a really bad one at first, and you guys noticed that as well. So you told me what to look for in the next sales manager I would bring on, and the next one I brought on was is still with us right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say like obviously like us manually reviewing the calls like helped and there was like a couple leaks that we had to patch, but how have things changed since you like actually went out there and got a competent sales manager, somebody who's all over and really like doing kind of, what we do within our agency as well.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, by far, this is going to be a record month, especially with him. I mean, the biggest thing that I've noticed that honestly I'm most happy about this hire is like the team culture. Like before, it was just like, just more reps on more offers. They didn't really care for the offer specifically. Now, like people are joining team calls excited. It's more competition between closers and between setters. Um, and that's like been the best thing, honestly, because that's like you can really take that long term rather than just like a short term guy hopping in, making sure that people are filling out their end of day reports. Like that's one thing, but actually building a team culture from
Yeah.
one person, like that's huge. And that's been honestly the biggest change I've noticed with this team and that hire. Um, but yeah, that being said, like that's correlating directly with this being a record month for sure.
Yeah. And
Uh,
then just to give the people a good like some good context too, right? Um so I'm not gonna obviously leak any client details or anything. Do you mind if I say like numbers though?
Yeah, no, no, numbers
Okay.
are fine.
So it's like first month, right? Before we kind of came on, it was 34. That was the record month.
Yep.
And then just by implementing this first switch, before we even get into the webinar stuff, just by making this small tweak, you were able to literally double the offer. And you can tell the people too that obviously I'm sure most people are familiar with how like growth operator info agencies work, but you have a significant rev share of this offer, right?
Yeah.
So
Um, yeah.
yeah, so I was gonna say, and this offer makes up, would you say a majority of your income?
All of it right now.
That's what I was gonna say. So essentially, bro, this is the one thing that I really love with working with people like Vander. It's why I don't take on super beginners, is because we can work with someone like Vander, make a simple tweak, right, to an offer or a process that has volume coming through, and we could literally help someone like Vander double his income with a small tweak like that. So that's one thing I think is super cool. Now let's pivot and let's sort of talk about how you were essentially going to triple your income from when we first started,
Definitely.
which is the Webby. So talk to them about like how it was when you initially came to me wanting to do a Webby about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, how we implemented everything, and then what happened as a result.
Yeah, so literally what Jason did was he did on a mural board, which is very helpful, but he laid out every single meticulous step that I needed to take to have a successful Webby. Not only that, he gave me like the exact slides, the exact emails, the exact text that he used for a Webby he's running like currently. That's doing really well. So he made it really easy for my lazy ass. Literally just going to Poppy, throwing in the example, matching it to my client, just reviewing it, and then bam, I have all the resources I need. So you
Yeah,
also
real quick too, just hold that thought too. I wanted to touch on that is that guys, I don't like I don't say I don't really care, but I don't gatekeep. Like I give away literal scripts, literal slides, literal things I've done for clients that have printed and made a ton of money. And so yeah, that's what Vander's touching on there, but go ahead.
Yeah. What I was saying too is like you also broke it down in a way that made it super easy for me to understand. It was for context, this was my first ever webinar. So I mean, if you guys are beginner growth ops, I mean, if you've never ran a webinar before, it's like where do you start? Um, But you broke it down in a way it's like, all right, how do we get as many people to register as possible? Now, how do we get as many of those people to show up as possible? Now, how do we get as many of those people to book calls as possible? And just breaking it into those like three phases or three steps is like, all right, do all these steps to get people to sh register, do all these steps to get people to show up, and then book calls, of course. So that made it super simple. Literally, basically gave me a checklist, went through the checklist, and that was we got the result that we got because of that.
So talk to them a little bit about the result that you got because of
Yeah,
that.
so um the I can go into like the specific numbers, but we did let me check on my screen. 53K in the past 7 days. The webinar was a week ago, so 7 days ago. So 7 days after the webinar, we're at 53K on the week, solely from the webinar.
What
So
does that put you
uh,
in total at on the month?
on the month, we are at 81K.
81. So we're pushing for a six-figure month, right?
Yes, sir.
So guys, we went from 34K months as being the record to implementing the things we just talked about to hitting 50K weeks, right? And pushing for six-figure months. That is genuinely the power of um once again, just like some working with someone like Vander who isn't a complete beginner, has a client that we can genuinely help out, making a couple tweaks and seeing a pretty crazy um result like that. So I mean, I don't want to ask a redundant question here, but I think it's good for the audience to know. Given the fact that you have quite literally this month probably going to triple your income, and given the fact that not only do you obviously you're crushing it with this client, but the systems we've given you, the things we've showed you, the skills we've been able to teach you, you get to take with you for the rest of your life now.
Mm.
Would you say that this was worth the investment, and did you get a return on it?
Bro, not only that, like we're only like halfway through like the work we're gonna do together. Like for context, like when we did that 34K month, I made what, like t 2 grand maybe. And I'm probably gonna make 10K this month because of, the two pivots we made, the webinar and then the pre-call show rate stuff that we did last month. So absolutely, like literally 3 to 4x my personal income, the money that I make every single month because, I decided to work with people that have worked with the biggest names, have the actual systems that are necessary to get to offers where they need to be. Um, so definitely, yeah.
Awesome. And then one of my final questions, unless Jake has anything, is what would you say to somebody who's on the fence? Somebody who kind of sees my videos, maybe they have a client, but they're just like, afraid of investing like a lot of people are. What would you say to them?
Yeah, so I mean, for me, it was like a no-brainer. Like if you know Jason, you know who he's worked for before, and what offers he's gotten to what amount per month. It's just like, why would you? He's literally handing you everything that he has or that you have from those offers. And then of course your years of experience now and just handing it to you. Like you're just gonna speed up your process as a growth op or whatever you want to call yourself. You're just gonna speed that process up like more than anything else. Investing into this specifically because of those systems, because of those processes, that he just hands to you. So if you're on the fence, I mean, I don't really know why, but just if your offer isn't where it should be, this will get your offer to where it should be, without a doubt.
I was gonna say I feel like specifically for that's why I like working with people who already have clients who like have a lot of potential but are just stuck because like the one thing like the only tangible thing that was stopping you from going from 30K a month to 100K a month with the client was like literally just like, oh, I don't know what buttons to click. It wasn't that you didn't have the opportunity, it wasn't that you didn't have the connections or anything like that. It's just like
Yeah.
you just had to learn how to do like literally just click different buttons and it all worked out and got you to that point. So that's why it's always good to like work with somebody who has an opportunity like that because it's literally so easy to see an ROI in such a short amount of time, I feel like as well.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
but yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. I know this is quick, but guys, me and Vander, and Jake are about halfway through this process, so maybe you'll see another crazy case study at the end of this. Who knows what's going to happen in the next month and a half or so. Um, but yeah, this was good. Any final words, Jake or Vander, before we hop off?
Nah, bro, I just be cheesing every time I think about the numbers, bro. Like that
Oh,
shit's
I know.
crazy. It's so quick.
Yeah,
It's so quick.
bro, it feels good to be able to like, genuinely help people out, right? People like
Yeah.
Vander, even the client, bro. The client doesn't even know me or know Jake. And yet, like, bro, that guy gets to make more money simply because we had
Yeah.
knowledge that we were able to give somebody. Um,
Yeah, and just the fact this has happened in the past 7 days, like the webinar was literally it's Sunday now. The webinar was last Monday. Like the fact that we've made this much money in this short amount of time because of what you guys have shown me, it's just been pretty crazy. It's like,
Yeah,
damn.
you beat out your previous record month in a week, bro. It's like
No, exactly, right? It's
I
crazy.
don't know. Sometimes with like the YouTube case studies and stuff like that, it's like the creator or not the creator, but the person you're buying from seems like inauthentic, bro. But it's like it is fucking it's sick, bro. I don't know. You just click a couple buttons and now you're ripping, bro. So it's sick. But yeah, that's my last thoughts.
all right. Well, that's a wrap, everybody. Shout out to Vander for being an awesome client. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one. There is a Calendly link in the description. I don't even promote it that much. And, if you're a beginner, I probably will just decline the call. I'm going to be honest. But if you are a person who, is in this info space, growth operating space, whatever you want to call it, you have a couple clients, you're not a complete beginner.
Yeah,
We
be
can
like
definitely,
Vander.
yeah, I was gonna say we can definitely help you out. So there's a Calendly link below for you to book a call. Otherwise, my Instagram will be in the description. But I appreciate y'all for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one.
Let's get it.
W.